So we've already looked at two big lads from the Cyberworld line, Grimlock and Scorponok, as well as their wee pal Galvatron, and I was really pleased with them for what they are. Simple toys with fun play features, they encourage interactivity with the smaller robots from the line, which begs the question, what are the rest of those little robots like? Are they as entertaining as the big lads? Fuck no, but crucially, they're relatively cheap, so I picked up most of them. Two of them are out there. I can't seem to get my hands on them. One is a retool of Hound from the last night. I never thought I'd be interested in something like that, but a testament to the fact that you style something after G2 Megatron, you've got me. The other one is Mirage, and I couldn't care less about this toy at first, but after watching the show and seeing that he's a sneaky weasel of a boy, I want the toy. And you see how that works, Hasbro. You sell the character, you sell the toy, you know? But other than that, we've got the lot, and like all toy lines, some are pretty great, some are acceptable. You've just got to set your expectations on a line aimed at kids that doesn't cost the earth. Be fair, for once! First up, we've got Cyber Changer Optimus Prime, and I'm pretty torn on it. It's a fairly basic Optimus, some very large wheels, and you know there's knees and hips, arms on a ball joint, but crucially, perhaps devastatingly, no elbows. And I know this is a concession to ensure the toys can transform easily, or whatever, but oh, does missing something as basic as an elbow make the entire thing feel so much cheaper and limited? No dabbing at all in this line of smaller toys, which is a travesty. However, the transformation, both into vehicle mode and back, is fun. Kinda. Almost. You flip the windshield over the head and connect it to the backpack, fold down the head and bring those arms together, and then you kind of finagle the legs into this awkward diagonal situation, and you realise the good times are over. This looks awful. I know, but it was halfway interesting getting there. Coming back, you can flip the head up and it sort of auto-transforms, swinging the arms out. Then you can flip that windshield back down. I'd quite like to see this top half transformation tried out on a larger, perhaps more expensive stage. Megatron's by far the biggest departure in this line in terms of character design. He's a big, bull robot man. Cool. You know, being more slender and frankly detailed than Optimus, it almost feels like Megatron here's from a different line, if it weren't for having no elbows. Still, that design is great, isn't it? It's just 3 sets of horns. What more could you ask for? 4? You're crazy. We get this odd sword, shield, axe combo weapon that definitely feels a bit awkward, but necessary. And all we're really doing for the transformation is pulling down the head here, the upper torso swings around before folding in the legs on themselves and plugging the heels up his bovine butt. Plug that weapon similarly up thermometer lane and you've got a pretty fun bull. And yeah, look, not amazing. I know, you know, those obvious hands at the front, but from the side, look at those little hoofs. The legs are hardly what I'd call elegant, but overall, it's a bull who can do nothing, but isn't that enough? Bumblebee's next, and he's a bit of a bruiser compared to even Optimus here. He also looks, dare I say it, shit all like he does in the cartoon, looking much more like the Reactivate design than anything else. And I don't think I need to decry the lack of elbows in every toy, so I won't, but know that I'm disappointed every time. And look at this screenshot from the show, elbows for days, like they're mocking me. This lad feels cheaper than even Optimus, and he's just dead rattly. I'm not keen. You know, if you pull the bumper down over the head, the arms all move automatically into place, and it's just a case of folding these legs in. I don't mind the alt mode. I like the off-road look, but yeah, it's definitely a reused Reactivate design, isn't it? Not a stinker by any means, but probably the first one where I'm starting to reevaluate every life choice I've ever made. Snarl is a toy I wasn't bothered with until again I saw the Cyberworld show and was like, yeah man, Snarl's incredible. Here is $7.99, a really solid, almost Junkion style design here within the colour scheme and the asymmetrical design pieces. Like, I've really come around on him. He comes with this big coleslaw shredder, which is obviously a tail for the alt mode, but this is a big winner for me despite the lack of, you know, well... Now this toy is essentially the same as Megatron. We're just pushing that head down, folding the legs in, putting the spines up, and... yeah, this is better than the bull, which was already pretty good. It still doesn't do much, but it's very charming, and the little mouth opens, 10 out of 10. Oh no, it's that bad bastard Starscream looking quite like a Cybertronian mode Starscream. Just kind of straight up Starscream. I don't know why I'm surprised. He's alright. The big single moulded piece on his back gives it a little bit of a McDonald's toy vibe, but it's a perfectly serviceable looking little dude. Pulling the cockpit on the chest up, you can, with no small amount of force, leverage the whole body up, covering the head and bringing the arms in. I don't know which kid has the dexterity to get this cockpit out of the housing and the strength to pull it up, but God bless these little Samsons. The alt mode is a pretty decent, if pretty plain jet mode. Everything plugs in snugly. It's certainly the least remarkable of the toys we've looked at yet, so I should stop remarking on it, really. Elita 1, oh man, oh dear. A Tale of Two Cities again, folks. I love this robot mode. The colours and the sculpt just sing. I would love this exact design in a more collector-focused line for sure. Okay, she's a little less impressive at the back, but that certainly isn't the worst thing about this toy. The transformation itself is actually alright. Make sure the legs are together, and this front piece is down, and then you push the arms in, which brings up the faceplate. And, you know, you have what I like to call one shitty boat. And honestly, man, utter rubbish. Just not pleasing in any way. You know, the best bit about it is that when you're transforming out of this heinous thing, it's mercifully brief. She deserves better. Okay, I think it's time for Starscream to take the silver medal in the most unremarkable or nondescript toy of the line. Wheeljack's a big fan favourite. It's always good to see them, but fuck me, this is boring. The plain white plastic, even with the detailed sculpting, just feels like someone's bought a really nice antique table on Vinted and then painted over it with white emulsion. I just don't feel any love in it. But very similar to Bumblebee that we saw earlier, we bring down the hood, everything moves in nice and tight, which is fun to do, and to be fair to Jackie here, the alt mode is fairly distinct and stylised enough to be unique to this line, so for once, the alt mode saves the toy. So Skybite, I'm not going to beat around the bush, best of these little toys, for me. Not just because it's Skybite and I love him dearly, they just had fun with it. This one screams for elbows, and I know what I said, but, you know, he really does. Besides that, he's got this cool slender frame and those arms with the engine detailing. I just love it. It's cool to see them just go, ah, fuck it, just stick some wheels on this boy. Folding the head down only gets you part way. This is definitely one I can see younger kids having a problem with, but that's only because I don't have any respect for them. Swing the arms up and clasp them together. Do the same with the legs and bring it all together like a big fish sandwich. And there we have a mechanical shark on wheels. Yes! Yes! I like it a lot. If the shark's mouth opened, it would be an all-timer. Add elbows in and...
Gavin, please!
Okay, yeah, but it's good. If you're tempted by any of these, this is the boy. Alright, time to get into the slightly bigger, armoured Cyber Changers, where we have Optimus Prime ready for a chance to redeem himself. It's an odd-looking Optimus, for sure. Strange, dumpy proportions on the legs. That face sculpt has these big fishy lips. But I do enjoy the splashes of yellow on the chest, and yeah, it's never a bad thing to see a refreshed take on a classic, is it? Optimus comes with this big Gatling gun weapon that has no other function at all. Okay, some eagle-eyed people may have noticed these wings on the back end. Fold those up and the barrel separates. If you want, no one's told me to do this, but you can plug it into Optimus's back for some jetpack action. Pulling down the hood triggers that familiar transformation, and we've got a pretty solid off-road truck Optimus Prime. I don't mind that at all. It's better than the other one by a mile, so good. We can pop that gun on top as well, and if you're so inclined and want the whole thing to look stranger than it already does, you can pop off the wings and attach them to the side of the vehicle. I think this is the most coherent of all the alt modes. Maybe? Maybe. Bumblebee is back, and he looks more like the show. You know, sorry, I did stumble over that there, hope no one noticed. Still, probably more like the Earthspark design. Maybe it's a pretty generic Bumblebee for sure. A shame, because he has so much distinct personality in the show. Nothing much to write home about design-wise, besides this big honking bladed stinger weapon. Who knows what's going on here, but I love it. You can have it in this configuration, or you can detach the stingers and have them on the forearms. Excellent. Transforming Bumblebee is the same as the other Carbots, just pull the hood up, everything falls into place. It's a nice little alt mode, which has a bit more flair than the last one. I like it well enough. You can put those stingers on top and pull back the trigger to fold them in, if you want something that's going to really mess with his aerodynamics. Not a bad toy at all. I just wish B got more attention. Each of these toys definitely feels a little half-baked. Finally is the boy, the Goblin Chop Shop. Again, wasn't that fussed at first. I have to be in the mood for an Insecticon, you know? And then I saw in the show, he was just a little gremlin, and it sold me on him. Look at his wee face. Not a thought going through his head, the poor bastard. Like Snarl, he's really grown on me. Great vibrant colours, chunky detail. It feels more realised than some of the stuff we've seen so far. It feels like this was a passion project for someone. He comes with the weirdest weapon of the line, this mad hammer, grabber, sword combo. You can move it up and down for this grabby move, or you can take the pincers off and attach them to his back, which is a cool detail in itself. And you have this hammer, push it up and you've got a big sword. Very strange to see these gimmicks all slammed together like this, but I'm glad they did. Same old pull down the chest, and we're there. A big ugly bug. Ugh, I love it. Close second to Skybite, I think. Maybe joint first. Get them both if you can. There's spots on top to carry the weapon, and what a toy to finish on. I'm glad I'm so good at this. Overall, it's a fairly strong line, and pretty imaginative, some nice takes on existing characters, some left field choices. Yeah, each toy could benefit from having elbows, sure, and the fact that the line's meant to be aimed at kids but doesn't sit well with how hard some of the toys are to interact with and convert is odd, but they're also very expressive, and they're covered in 5mm peg holes, and just, I don't know, it does my heart good to see a horrible corporation try and lure in a new generation of little idiots with pocket money toys and accompanying media. They all interact quite well with the large toys, especially Scorponok, and I'm really glad this line came at a time when a lot of my more collector-focused lines were just about as exciting as getting your teeth brushed with a potato peeler. Right, bye.